BluMetric is mission-ready water. BluMetric provides a full range of environmental consulting services supported by bespoke engineering solutions for emergency, self-contained, and permanent water systems, and is always mission-ready with a full range of in-house support. There is no successful mission without water.
So hello everybody, I'm Jens Flau from SH Defense, sitting here with Keith Cunnane from SEA Canada. We're going to talk a little about, of course, mission modularity, which is my key element, and how we provide capabilities for naval platforms and maybe land forces as well. And in this specific thing, and Keith will elaborate, we're going to talk about a really upcoming thing, anti-submarine warfare, which I think is on a lot of people's lips with the situation in the world.
Yeah, it certainly is, and what we're seeing now is that anti-submarine warfare requires a lot of assets. The ocean is a big place.
Yeah.
Submarines are hard to find, and so you want to have as many systems out there looking for them, and you have the systems to then deal with them when you find them.
Yeah.
And so we're definitely seeing a trend towards smaller vessels, autonomous, uncrewed subsurface vessels that allow us to get as many tails, sonars into the water as we possibly can, to gather the information, cover the ground, and then be able to do something about it. But of course, to do that, you've got to have smaller, lower power, low integration systems that you can put in those platforms. And then it also goes, what really helps then is the systems that you're providing allow us to then put our anti-submarine warfare sonars and torpedo launch systems onto vessels of opportunity, and have that modularity that you can re-roll to the task.
Yeah, exactly, and that's really what it's all about. And I can even add that one thing is finding a submarine and doing something, but it's also about there's new platforms coming up, USVs, and all these platforms we also have to provide deterrence. So it's not always about finding something. It's also about having the capability to find something, because that'll actually give you another operational pattern.
And we can see this happening, around the world. So I'm the general manager of SEA Canada, and my parent company, SEA in the UK, heavily involved in Project Cabo. That the UK is, applying mass autonomy to ASW in the North Atlantic. And I think there's an awful lot that we can then read from that, and we can take that. So in our context, particularly for the Arctic, and looking at deployed persistent ASW using smaller platforms, the systems and the approaches that we're seeing used by the Royal Navy, we're going to apply here for the Royal Canadian Navy, and hopefully other navies around the world.
Yeah, and and also putting on top of that, it's a really great cooperation, right? It also showing coalition forces, right? It's a Royal Navy capability now being developed further and produced in Canada. It's a Danish capability now with a production partner in Canada. So we've now taken capabilities, made them almost fully Canadian, produced and delivered in Canada, and could even go for the global market.
Absolutely, and it is, it's really fascinating for me. So I've come into SEA Canada, into the product world in the last year or so. And I don't know if it's always been like this, but the level of collaboration, discussion between companies within countries, but across borders. So SEA works closely with Terma on our trainable decoy systems. Danish company. We're working with you now on the Cube, and looking at how we can put our systems, using your Cube, which could be manufactured in Canada under license by other partners like Do Engineering. And I think building those relationships and using the best athlete from each of the jurisdictions. It's not about a competitive environment. We're not trying to beat each other. We're looking at how we can enable each other. And I think that's a very I think it's very consistent with what we're getting at the political and the military level. Our militaries and NATO have worked together for decades, getting industry to work together to give them the tools and capabilities they need. And it is unfortunate the world is a dangerous place at the moment. It is sad that governments and populations feel the need to invest in defence, but given that we have to do it to keep ourselves safe, I think the initiatives we're seeing with between SH Defence, SEA, I think that is how we are going to meet this challenge.
Yeah, and of course, and on top of that, delivering what the operator needs at the end, but also delivering capabilities in a way so we can keep if you talk Navy, a fleet modern. So if you need another system in 10 years' time when the technology has overrun, then it's fairly easy to actually adapt and deliver a new capability.
And it is, and I think I really do see what you're doing with SH Defence as an enabler for that, because we are producing these low integration, low cost, low power systems. Because part of that is you want to be able to put them onto smaller platforms, but also move them around. And so having vessels like AOPS, for example, that we can then change over from one capability to another. I mean, I think your system allows us to put our anti-submarine warfare systems onto platforms that otherwise people probably wouldn't want to make the integration costs. Because that's something, because you've got a very a small lightweight platform, lightweight system. The integration costs actually then become quite a large part of the overall program cost. And by using a modular system, you can reduce the integration costs to allow you to put cheap systems that will still deliver high levels of capability.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So finishing off, mission modules, ASW capabilities, simple integration solutions onto a number of platforms, not massive, expensive, bespoke build platforms. So yeah, Keith, great to talk.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah,
great talking.
BluMetric is mission-ready water. BluMetric provides a full range of environmental consulting services supported by bespoke engineering solutions for emergency, self-contained, and permanent water systems, and is always mission-ready with a full range of in-house support. There is no successful mission without water.